some advice this morning on how to deal with stress in the workplace or just stress at home in general. I think these situations come up for so many of us. Is the author of The Art of Extraordinary Confidence, because, hey, if you're less stressed, you are more confident. Dr. Aziz Gazipura joining us on the couch this morning. Now, you obviously in business for yourself, so you probably don't have much workplace stress.
No, not at all. I've mastered everything.
Do your clients stress you out eventually, I'm sure? Take us through some scenarios in the workplace that are common stressors.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the most common stressors at work is conflict, someone being upset with us. And that just triggers all kinds of things inside of us. That's one of the most common ones. Whether it's our boss, a coworker, a client, or a customer, we have to deal with that upset. And that can produce a lot of anxiety for people.
What are your solutions to that? I mean, what do you do in response to that? I know one of your tips is kind of stay grounded, maybe ask questions. What do you do?
Yeah, so the first thing is, before we even open our mouths, we have to stay grounded. Because there's that fear of that conflict, we tend to go into our heads to worst case scenarios.
Right.
They're gonna leave. They're gonna fire me, something dramatic.
Do you hit it head on? Do you just go to that person that you're feeling stress with and ask them?
So yes, absolutely. First, get grounded. Because if you're coming from that place of fear, and it's going to make everything worse. So getting calm in yourself, reminding yourself that you can handle anything that happens, getting present in your body. Then, yes, go head on, but the way you do it is extremely important.
Tell me how.
Yeah, most people do it wrong. They come in there and they want to fix it right away.
They go, what's wrong?
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Yeah.
Stop being upset.
That's more annoying.
That's right, and it makes it worse.
Yeah.
First thing we want to do is show up with curiosity. Just get curious. Find out what's happening. Why are they upset? Do we even really know? Is it because they didn't get an email in time? Is it because something was supposed to be done and it wasn't? So we want to ask a lot of questions. And then the urge is to fix it, fix it, fix it. We actually want to do one more thing. We want to reflect back what we've heard. Because nothing calms someone down more than feeling like they were heard and seen. And I'm like, okay, you get it. Then you can work together to come up with a solution and solve the problem.
What about people who are very anxious? They might feel they have a very big workload and you just can't seem to make any headway.
The list keeps getting longer.
Yeah, well, that's like pretty, I mean, you talked about 40% of people being highly stressed in their work. That's probably one of the main reasons is overwhelm. There's so much to do now, and we're plugged in with our phones and emails outside of work hours. So one of the first things we would do is a phrase that I love, which is slow down to speed up. So our urge when there's a lot to do is just to blaze through it and try to multitask, and we don't do anything very well. So we want to slow down and get, again, really calm, breathe into our stomach, get clear in our heads, because that's how we're much more productive, and then move forward into taking action.
Does it help to make a list and be able to check off as you succeed in certain areas?
Absolutely, and there's a subtle tweak on lists I think is extremely important. So make that list. I call it the capture list. But have you ever made a list and started to feel overwhelmed as you're making the list?
Yes, because it gets super long.
And you're like, oh my God, I got 87 things. So I'd say start with that, even though it's uncomfortable, get it all out on paper. Then what you want to do is something called chunking it down. So you want to go through your list of 20 things and say, what are the things that are related here? Because maybe 7 of those things are just emails and phone calls. So you circle all of those and just say communications. And then you rewrite your list into those 4 or 5 categories. In your brain, instead of saying, I got to do 27 things, says, oh, I just got to do 4 things.
Chunking it down. I want to get to our list here. We have one more point to hit with you, which is very important. A lot of people fear speaking up in meetings, maybe speaking their mind. What's the correct way to go about that?
Yeah, so pound on the table and say, everyone listen to me. No.
I've tried it. Doesn't work.
No, again, the first thing we want to do is we want to say, slow down before the meeting. What am I actually scared of? Because usually we don't even know. But if we really slow down and say, am I scared of being ignored? Am I scared of someone judging my ideas? Because when you get clarity on what you're afraid of, you have the power to go face it. Then you want to face the fear. But here's the thing. You want to face it inside first. So you actually want to imagine doing the thing, speaking up, and then feel that fear and just sit with it for a minute. Don't run away from it, because then you build power. Then you want to test out reality. What actually happens when I do it? Because, again, the worst case scenarios rarely happen. And then I like to call it you upgrade and you learn. So either it went well, great, or maybe you stumbled over your words or someone ignored you. you can learn from that and upgrade your skills and do it again.
You can learn from it, feel good about it, and then tackle your to-do list that's 87 pages long.
I really love your tips because anything you've said here applies in life as well as the workplace.
Yeah.
Whether you're
Absolutely.
approaching a child's teacher, a boss at work, or anything like that.
Sure.
Stress
Yeah.
in general. The book, once again, is The Art of Extraordinary Confidence. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, Doctor.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You know, one stressor can be if you don't have a job right now, and